name is Dr. Madeline Ward. I am a practicing holistic veterinarian and I work on horses. I received my veterinary degree in 1980, so I've been in practice for close to 40 years. You know, for the first 10 years I was in practice, I studied hard. I wanted to help as many horses as I could, but I have to say I got frustrated with conventional medicine. You know, I felt the drugs that I was using, they were removing symptoms, but I wanted to do more than that, and I was really not comfortable with a lot of the negative side effects from the drugs, and the horses didn't like the drugs. So I started exploring alternative therapies. I was one of the first U.S. veterinarians to be trained in osteopathy. I also received training in acupuncture, chiropractic, and other holistic modalities. You know, I'm the author of 3 books on holistic care for horses, and I've written dozens of articles on my website. I've been doing that for over 20 years in an effort because I wanted to educate people about what I was learning about holistic care for their horses. So, you know, having that many years in practice, I've seen so many fads, you know, come and go. And, you know, I could just tell, you know, I'd see something and everybody would get really excited, and it's like, that's not going to last. I mean, there's just so many products that came and went because they didn't really work. But I have to say, in the last few months, I've been studying a new concept, and it has me very, very excited. And I'm talking about a whole new receptor system. So we think about systems in the body, you know, like your digestive system, your immune system. I mean, we all know about those systems, and you think, you know, that the physiologists, they've got this all figured out. But actually, in the last decade, this man's initial work, and it's been verified over and over again with many, many research studies, he's actually discovered a whole new system. And it's a hidden receptor system, and it controls so many vital functions in the body. It's known as the endo-cannabinoid system. And we call it ECS for short. And it affects how the brain works. It deals with inflammation, mood, hormones, pain relief. I mean, all of those things that we all deal with on a daily basis. And these receptors, they're all over the body. And, you know, you've got them in the brain, you've got them in the muscles, there's large numbers in the uterus. It just covers so many aspects of our health that it's hard to list them all. So, of course, being a veterinarian, I'm thinking, well, what about animals? You know, can we stimulate this ECS in animals? And the truth is, absolutely, the animals have all the same receptors. And they also deal with these same issues with inflammation, hormone imbalances, mood imbalances, pain. So I've been using this product to stimulate this receptor system, and I'm seeing some really amazing results. Just a few examples. One of my clients had an older horse, and this horse was arthritic. It was having trouble even getting up. It wasn't responding anymore to the pain drugs that it was on. And I mean, she was very attached to this horse, but she was thinking she might have to put it down. So we started stimulating and nourishing the ECS on this horse, and she's up, she's walking around. She's actually playing a little bit in the field with the other animals. It's been an amazing transformation to see. Another thing that we deal with all the time, this was a young horse going into training. And, you know, these young horses, they come into training, they don't understand what they're being asked to do. They get sore because their muscles are not developed. And certain horses with certain temperaments, they just don't handle these things well. And this horse wasn't. He was a well-bred horse, a really nice looking horse, but his attitude was bad. He wasn't responding to the training. He wasn't responding to the medications he was being given. But with nourishing this ECS, he's coming around. His attitude is changing. He's starting to feel good about himself. He's coming into his own, and I don't know if he would have made it otherwise. So those are, you know, that's something we see all the time with these young horses. So that's amazing. Another horse that I had, this horse had a chronic eye infection. It wasn't an infection, it was inflammation. We didn't even know where the inflammation was coming from. And normally I can deal with these horses with holistic methods and get that inflammation under control, but I just was not able to do it with this horse. And so we started nourishing this ECS, and lo and behold, a huge, huge difference in the horse. So knowing what this cannabinoid system can do, how are we going to nourish it? Well, there's no doubt that the best way to nourish it is with hemp oil. Hemp oil contains the highest amount and variety of cannabinoids, and cannabinoids are what we need to nourish the system. So there's a couple that are well known. There's actually over 130 that have been discovered, but 4 are really important, and the research centers around them. The first one, maybe you've heard of, it's called CBD, and it's cannabidiol. But then another one that's getting a huge amount of attention right now is CBG, cannabigerol. So talking about hemp oil, there's just some things we have to clear up. These are misconceptions, they're myths that have been around for over 70 years, and they're very confusing to people. And I just want to assure you, hemp oil will not make you high. No matter how much of it you take, it doesn't have THC in it. That's the psychoactive component, and it's not in the hemp oil. And you don't have to have the THC, and that's where there's a lot of confusion. You know, THC has psychoactive effects, and we don't want that. We just want the health benefits from the hemp oil. So this has been realized by our government, and so finally, I mean, it's way overdue. After 70 years of prohibiting hemp in the United States, now it's finally being opened up where we can grow hemp, we can ship hemp, it's legal on a federal level, the states are coming around, and this is huge. This deregulation is going to change the way we look at health in a very, very beneficial way. This plant has just been kept under wraps for way, way too long. And it's not only the United States. This is happening all over the world. Canada just changed their laws. Mexico, Japan, China, Thailand, Taiwan. There's others, and we'll see a lot more of this happening. It's like a veil has just been lifted, and it's a worldwide cultural shift and health movement. Once people understand this, and I think that's happening at a very fast rate, the question is going to become now, you know, what hemp oil is the best? And we're going to have hemp oil. It's already starting to happen with this deregulation. Many companies producing hemp oil. I mean, there's going to be hemp oil on every corner. And that's a good thing. That is a wonderful thing, because this is a wonderful product and we want it in as many hands as possible. But I want the absolute best product. So that's where I've been doing my research and looking at all the different hemp oils that are out there, and just looking at some different ways to evaluate. So the first checkpoint to me that I always look at is bioavailability. So I have to look at, how much are you actually getting from a product? I mean, I see this with supplements all the time for horses. It's this product, but you have to give 4 ounces twice a day. And another product is much more bioavailable, and it's a teaspoon twice a day. So to me, I want the more concentrated, more bioavailable product. That just makes more sense to me. Why would you want to have all that waste? Like if you have a product that has 1,000 milligrams, well, that's fine. But if it's only 10% assimilated, then you're getting 100 milligrams. So another important thing to look at is going to be, how much of each of the cannabinoids is actually in the product. And the only way to know that is that you can have to have a certificate of analysis. Otherwise, I mean, hemp is a plant, so it's not necessarily consistent from one growing batch, to another. So the only way to know what's actually in the product is to have it be scientifically measured. And that's why you need that certificate of analysis. Otherwise, there's going to be a wide variation in concentration, and that's not useful. That's not helpful. You need to know how much is going in. So these 4 cannabinoids are the ones that we are most interested in measuring how much is actually in each product. Then the last section here shows the number of important terpenes. And then we need to know, is there THC in the product? Because that's not what we're looking for. But once you review all these important categories, which I have done, I came up with the best product out there, and that's Recept. And it's a company called Prime My Body. And I think this is the product that is going to be on the forefront. And I think this is the company that has put the money into the research and development and made the pledge that they are going to stay at the top of this industry. Recept, it has the highest bioavailability, by far, no comparison. And this is not an accident. The cannabinoids in hemp, they're just naturally not easily absorbed. You know, there's a range, maybe 3 to 20%, 10% being on average, and that's just the nature of the plant. So what Prime My Body has done is they have used a technology to make these hemp oil molecules so small that they've increased the absorption to over 85%. And that is huge, because now with this nano liposomal technology, even taken a step further, which we'll talk about, you put these drops directly under your tongue and they go straight into your bloodstream. Recept takes it even a step further. They have the nano liposomal technology, but now they've added sonicated liposomes, which is taking the particle size all the way down to 20 nanometers. So that's kind of technical, but that means that more of this is getting into your bloodstream much faster. And there's no other hemp oil in the world that has this technology. So if you look at this chart, it will show how much is actually going into the body with the nanotechnology versus just normal hemp oil. Another aspect that you want to look at with hemp oil is you want to get as many of the valuable ingredients into the product as you possibly can. That creates what we call an entourage effect, which means that all of those different components are working synergistically, you know, with each other. So Recept has got 4 of the most important cannabinoids, and it also has the terpenes in it. Now, one of the cannabinoids, and I'll struggle with that word, but it is CBG. Now, CBG, cannabigerol, it's one of the most expensive compounds that's in hemp. And this company really wanted to get that product, that compound, into the product. And one of the advantages of that is that it really helps to decrease inflammation in the gut. And that was very exciting to me because, you know, anybody that has horses, we know how much they struggle with colic, with ulcers, you know, that makes their lives miserable. Then the terpenes. So the terpenes have amazing effects with inflammation and immunity, fighting cancer. I won't even try to get into everything that can do, but we have seven terpenes in this formula, and one of them is particularly well known and well studied, and that's beta-caryophyllene. So check that out and just see, you know, what you think about that one product. That one terpene would be enough to want to have this product, you know, over some of the oils that don't have the terpenes. I have no doubt that this is the best product out there, but there's still, you have to consider the pricing, because if you can't afford to use it, then it doesn't matter how good it is. But this product is priced amazingly competitively. And but what you have to consider on it is you have to consider the absorbable milligrams. So let's just look at some of the products out there, and you'll see that the pricing is all over the map. And these are popular brands. They're good brands. Don't get me wrong. I mean, you know, there's good companies out there producing quality hemp oils, but you've got to look at how much is actually absorbed. I mean, you've got everywhere from $249 for 50 mils. You got $149 for 30 mils. A colleague of mine was using a really good oil that was having benefits, but it was $230 a bottle. And none of these other products, these expensive products, they weren't liposomal. So they had lower absorption. If you look at Prime My Body's formula, you're talking $108 for 50 mils. And you have an advantage with this company. The way they're set up is that you can get wholesale prices if you become an affiliate. And that takes the price down to $89. If you buy in more volume, that's going to bring the price down to $78. And if you do like I'm doing and educate people and bring other people to this product, then you're going to get it for even less. There's some features here that are also important. For instance, it's organically grown, uses only American sourced hemp. It's a proprietary formula created by this company's own labs. The sonicated nanotechnology, which gets that particle size down so low that it's just, everything's going into your body. There's no THC. We've talked about we don't want the THC. There's no ethanol. Both of these issues are important if anybody is involved with a job or something where they have to be drug tested. Broad spectrum for the full entourage effect. The 30 milligrams of the CBG, that is more than any other oil out there. And the flavor is really good. I mean, some of those terpenes don't have the best flavor, but they're so beneficial. But this has got a really nice flavor, a little peppermint flavor, and doesn't have any sweeteners. The horses love the peppermint. And for people, it's kosher, halal, soy-free, and non-GMO. And that's big for me. So, and the price. I mean, the price is really good. On a little bit of a different note, but I feel every bit as important, is the fact that this company offers, doesn't require, but offers the chance that you can have residual income. So for me, when I first got interested in holistic medicine, I had to make some hard choices. I wasn't sure where I was going to go with my career. I knew I wanted to study all these new concepts. I was very excited about them, but I mean, when was I going to do that? I was working 70 to 80 hours a week at a thriving practice, had multiple employees, but I was so dissatisfied with the results I was getting in my practice with the drugs. And I realized, I could either continue, working for the practice, or I could change things around and get that practice where it actually worked for me. I'd never heard of residual income. I just gone to school. I just, thought I'm going to get this professional degree and that's how I'm going to make my money. And that's what I'd been doing. But now there was this change and I had to reevaluate that. So being introduced to residual income that wasn't trading my time just right across the board for money, that I could actually have a source of money that didn't take as much of my time. I mean, that was novel to me, but it was exciting to me. And I knew that if I did this, I would have the time to expand on those holistic things that I was learning and share these holistic methods and the value of them with other people. And then there was always this part too, as much as I love working on horses. I mean, what if something happened to me? I mean, that was my only source of income. So now I'm able to work on the horses. I love working on the horses. It gives me so much joy. And yet I know that if something happened to me, I'm still going to be okay. And that's helps me sleep at night. Now I'm a veterinarian, and of course I talk about horses because that's my thing. I absolutely love them. But don't get me wrong, you don't have to be a veterinarian to get involved with this. You don't have to be any kind of a professional. That's what is so amazing with this. I mean, you can share the power of this hemp oil with other people, with animals, with your friends, for yourself, and you don't have to be a professional to do this. I mean, this endo-cannabinoid system needs to be supported. I mean, just like we support the other systems in our body. So all of that being said, what's going to be your next step? I mean, if you want to try a bottle, I mean, that is great. I will ship it to you. But I want you to think about what more and more people are starting to do, and that's become hemp educators. This is a worldwide movement. As I said, this hemp plant has been suppressed for all these years, and now people are starting to hear about it and they're getting excited about it. And the team of people that I work with, we are excited to be on the forefront of what we consider to be a worldwide movement. And you can help a lot of people, and maybe it's a change for you. Maybe it's an additional source of income. Maybe it's even a new career path. It's just whatever is sparked in you, that's where we will meet you. It's not difficult to become an affiliate. It's $39. And it's not like you're going to sign up and then you are on your own. We're going to be supporting you. We're going to be guiding you. We've got a getting started system training. It is a very powerful tool. It is backed by decades of proven success. The team that I work with has been doing this for a long time. It's like you're getting a franchise system where you're learning new skills. I mean, you're going to need some new skills. There's no doubt about that. There's a lot of communication skills. There's a lot of technology skills that are involved. We use a lot of video training, conference training calls, PDF documents that you can study, on your own time. And you can always pick up the phone and call any of us at any time. And there's no charge for the training. The training is included because we're all in this together, and everyone wants everyone wants everyone else to be successful. I mean, if we're helping you meet your goals, then we're meeting our goals, through doing that. And this receptor system is changing the way many, many people look at health. And this company, Prime My Body, they're going to be on the top of this industry. This is the company to go forward with. If you want to try the product for yourself, fantastic. If you want to share it with a few of your friends, if you want to make $300 a week, we can show you how to do all that. And if you're like a lot of us that are on this team that look at this and see the amazing power of this worldwide movement, and you want to be able to become someone and have things and afford things that you never thought that you would be able to do, then we can show you how to do that as well. So let me answer any questions that you have. Thank you very much.